We did it! As of recording this video, a couple of days ago, my little channel hit 1,000 subs, and as the paper says, thank you. Thank you. It's very much appreciated. I'm a little bit gobsmacked. It's probably, for any channel, I think it's a big milestone. And yeah, I made a couple of posts, I think, or at least one, where I was threatening to do a little sort of chat, really. And it's about the first kit I can clearly remember building. And it is one of these. The Old Tool Messerschmitt 110. Now, what could be better than one of these kits is actually owning two of them. If you, well, there's a shiny box, it's catching the light, but you can see, get the drift. I've always thought, to be fair, the artwork on this is really interesting, with this two Hurricanes coming into attack, the one sort of just flying past, the machine gunner firing at him. Brilliant. I would love this as a print, and if I'm going to be brutally honest, this is a box from 1966, and it looks like the artwork at some point was cleaned up, and this one to me looks the better artwork out of the two. My introduction to this kit was in the sort of early 70s. I used to spend quite a bit of time at my grand's with my uncle and one of my cousins, and whatever they were kind of into, I was sort of wanting to take it up. And I was actually the youngest out of the three of us as well, so I was kind of following them around. Scale Electric, Lego, Meccano, all the, the stereotypical 70s kids stuff. If they had it, I wanted it. And of course, Airfix played a big part in that. And at some point, I was given or picked up or bought one of these. And as I say, it's the first kit I can clearly remember building. Although around that same time, I know I built the the Sturmovik kit and the Super Mystere kit, both of which, for some strange reason, obviously, are in the stash. But this one, I'm pretty sure, pips them all to the post. So what I'm going to do, let's just put that one to one side, and let's have a look at the classic one, which is the reason I've got two is because a couple of years ago now, maybe longer, my modelling club, we were going to do a group build where you get the first kit you can remember building, and build it again. Now, obviously for me, it was this. And I put a bid on this, but as you can see, it is a 1966 boxing. That was possibly the original price. What is that? 3 shillings, 15p, I think, off the top of my head. Oh, there's a Sturmovik I was just talking about on the side of this box. So, where was it? Yes, so I was bidding on this, expected not to win it, and it would go to a collector. About a day later, this one came on eBay. Buy it now, which I did, assuming I wouldn't have Yeah, messages on the phone. Assuming I wouldn't win this one. And of course, you know what happened. Of course I won it. Just one thing I've just noticed. This Hurricane has this squadron code of JX. Now I'm sure I've got an Airfix Spitfire. Fairly bit of a vintage kit, that one, which also is a JX. Because I can't remember for the life of me what squadron would be JX, but I could check it out. But anyway, and there is actually a very clear serial number, L1671. So it would not be impossible for me to completely recreate this scene in model form. But that's maybe a thing for another day. So back to the actual plastic. Now then, this is as this is spit it out. As this is a very early version of this kit, it's incredibly crisp and flash free. Although it honestly has to be said, it's inaccurate. Also, what have we got in here? So that's the original transfer. I can call them transfers because these they're old, so they're transfers, not decals. But these ones, they are decals. That is from an Italieri 110. This is possibly from the old Matchbox 110. And then this is leftovers from the new tool Airfix 110. So these will be cartograph. So we'll put them to one side because we're only interested in the vintage stuff. So yeah, here's the original transfers. Very thick and very yellowed. I don't know whether this paper is meant to be brown or it's just gone brown over time. But they would possibly need sorting out in a window or replacing. So there we have a fuselage. Again, it's very crisp, very flash free. The original paper from the decals. Now then, we have a complaint slip, and I've never seen one like this, if I'm going to be honest. Tells you who it was packed by on number 18, if that's a person or a department. The Airfix magazine, 1 and 6 per copy, or 24 shillings annual subscription. Can't remember my Imperial coinage. Then on the other side, which is very interesting, is we have a list of all the kits I believe they would have done at this point, which I have built quite a few of those. In fact, if you follow this channel, I don't know if you can make that out, but it's got HMS Hood there, which is a kit I'm working on at the minute. The 00 scale figures, which I've had a lot of those over my time. The Series 2, they've still got the rolling stock kits there in the and the trackside accessories in the inventory. Oh, Halifax, Series 5 Halifax. I don't know if you can see that. I'm also working on one of those, so yeah, there's a lot of kits on this list that I either own or have owned or have built. So I shall put that to one side safely. And there are the instructions. So you get a lot of information about the aircraft itself. And the instructions are in this lovely browned paper, and you can tell these are old because it's an exploded view with instructions to the side. If we turn over, gives you instructions on the cage, open position and drop tanks. Oh, it does. I was going to say it doesn't actually show you how to make a version with the undercage retracted, but it actually does tell you here for a version with retracted undercage. Just don't put on the undercage legs and wheels and cement the doors in the closed position. And then pop the pilots in, canopy on, nose on, and we're all done. And if you want to paint it, it should be done at this stage. So the painting instructions, I know a lot of us complain about painting instructions not being in colour. This is what we had to work with in the 60s. Not that I did, because I was the generation after, in the 70s. So what do we have here? Suggested colour scheme. Upper surfaces is dark olive green or dark and light grey mottle, but it doesn't show you that. And then it's undersurface is blue, wheels, guns, exhaust, propellers, matte black. Obviously, my other 110 kit, being a later release, has a lot better colour scheme information and colours. I do believe. No, it's not on the back. I'm not going to pop. Shall I? Yeah. I'll just pop the other one open, get the instructions out, and I'll show you the difference. In fact, the first difference, let's make it this. Yeah, compared to the original instructions, you've got this massive piece of paper with all the standard airfix style instructions from the 90s, painting call outs on stuff. And the main difference is obviously the paint guide, still in black and white, but a lot more comprehensive. To give you this splinter pattern, and then it shows you the model. And this page is a desert version. Again, a bit more comprehensive paint guide. So let me put that back safe. And needless to say, I do fully intend to build at least one of these. Okay, so there's the other part of the fuselage, and this will probably snap together. It's very crisp. Bit of a ridge there. All raised panel lines. And as of kits of this era, you do have a slot for your stand that possibly was in here, or should have been in here, should I say. And then it's just a collection of parts on on sprues. These chunky pilots. They are not your standard later airfix pilots. They look like two guys with massive, let it focus. There we go. Two guys with massive goggle eyes and huge buttons. Here's a nose piece for the airfix kit, along with a nose piece from an Italiera 110. And the thing is this, the Italiera 110, which I built, and it's been kind of built years ago, and it's kind of a parts, but it does actually pop onto that nose quite nicely. But if I was going to build this, I would of course use the original nose. Now, when I was a youngster, I thought this aircraft was just fantastic. It's got, I didn't realise, it's got 4 machine guns in the nose, which is a big armament for an aircraft. What I didn't realise was it also had 2 cannon, which are represented by these slots there, and its little rear gunner. And I thought, what an awesome aircraft. It could shoot down anything it wanted. It couldn't get attacked because there's a guy in the back shooting back. Little did I know the realities of the Messerschmitt 110 and how it wasn't such a brilliant aircraft compared to, as you can see, single seat fighters, which it would encounter in the Battle of Britain. But that's yeah, the first kit I can clearly remember ever building was this Messerschmitt 110. And the fun thing part about this, the label, it says MEBF 110D. On the end it just says ME 110D. But yeah, so again, let's put that somewhere where the light's not catching it. So it just remains to be said, big thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot. I enjoy what I'm doing, showing you these crazy videos. All these tins of bottles of paint here are for a project you won't have seen yet at the time of me recording this. And in true Phil's model making form, I have had a bit of a self-inflicted faux pas. Let me just say that. You'll know what I'm talking about when the video comes out. But on that note, I'm going to sign off. And once again, thank you. Your subscriptions are very much appreciated. If you like what I'm doing, I'm just going to carry on doing it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next one.